to For the First Time in Forever, the show that aims to fill the gaps in all of our watch lists. Last week, we entered a pretty batshit crazy world as we spoke about Donnie Darko, and if you haven't seen that, you can check that out by clicking the link in the description. But this week, it is time to talk about a beloved 80s classic, so hop on your bike, embark on a treasure hunt, and do your best truffle shuffle.
Do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm not doing it.
Do the shuffle.
Ah! This is the Goonies. Wait a second. I am going to be talking about spoilers for this film, so consider this your warning now. Without a shadow of a doubt, The Goonies is probably one of the most embarrassing omissions from my watch list. It's a classic 80s icon in Hollywood. It's loved by all. It's got a huge influence over so many of today's properties, from Stranger Things through to Stephen King's adaptations of It. It's directed by Richard Donner. Its screenplay is written by Chris Columbus. The story was crafted by Steven Spielberg. How have I never decided to sit and watch this? Like all films placed on a pedestal at the height that The Goonies is, there was a small twinge in the back of my head thinking, what if I don't like this film as much as everyone else? What if my heart really is cold and black? What if I am so dead inside that I cannot enjoy one of the most celebrated 80s films of all time? Haha, of course I loved it. It's The Goonies. How could you not love this? You would have to be a sadist or deeply unwell to not, at the very least, like The Goonies. Well, after some digging, it turns out that there were a couple of reviews that weren't too positive of The Goonies. One review in particular said that it was promoting a dangerous message that will cause adults to despise children. You must be fun at parties. I probably don't need to give you a plot synopsis of The Goonies, but I'm going to anyway. The Goonies follows a group of plucky youngsters who are on the hunt for the treasure of One-Eyed Willie. Sorry, I'm being immature. They're on the hunt for the treasure of One-Eyed Willie. One-Eyed Willie. Come on, Luke. You're 22 years of age. One-Eyed Willie isn't that funny. To get the treasure, they'll have to survive treacherous caverns, a surplus of booby traps, and the endless pursuit from the Fratellis. Okay, I'm going to start off by saying something controversial. And that is that I do have a criticism for this film. Just by saying that, I feel like I've committed a felony. Regardless, The Goonies is undoubtedly a chaotic movie, and part of that chaos, or at least I'd say 85% of that chaos, works in adding to its charm. The pace is blisteringly quick to the point where for this entire runtime, there is never a dull moment. That 15% of the chaos, it kind of steps over the mark, or at least in my opinion it does, and it just ends up being noise. From characters constantly talking over each other to the point where it doesn't become endearing anymore and it just becomes a little bit frustrating. And when there's 1,000,001 things all happening at once, and you just wish that there would be a little bit more focus. Ultimately, it just comes across like being stuck in Times Square in the middle of the day and expecting that person to understand everything that is going on around them. For those of you who haven't been to Times Square, that is impossible. But that's it for criticisms. Like, one little thing. I love this movie. Please don't shoot me. See, the characters are why you fall for this film. The relationship between every single member of this group is so brilliantly written and crafted, performed. The relationships are heartfelt, hilarious at some point, the banter that they have. It feels like they have been friends for years, rather than the group of child actors just flung together. Sean Astin, who obviously rekindled his 80s nostalgia by starring in Season 2 of Stranger Things as Bob Newby. Astin as Mikey, he's great as the pseudo-leader of the group who is driving this adventure along. Corey Feldman, I don't quite know what he's up to nowadays, but he's terrific as Mouth, as the wisecracking, smart-ass joker of the group. He has actually one of my favourite scenes in the film where he's winding up the new maid.
La moto va nene en primer cajón, la coca y la rapidez va nene en segundo, la heroína en el de abajo. Siempre hay que separar las drogas.
Before he was snapping away half the universe, Josh Brolin turned up in this film as the older brother to Mikey, and it was really nice to see an older sibling who, yes, they butt heads occasionally with their younger sibling, but for the most part, he is there as this caring, supportive figure. You get a lot of tropes where it's the elder sibling almost being a bully, and it's very refreshing to see this take. Gator is great as the wacky whiz kid with his own gadgets and gizmos, and who doesn't love the truffle shuffling, constantly hungry klutz that is Chunk. Jeff Cohen is so good as Chunk. He is probably my favourite of the bunch. He's so funny, he's so witty. When he's breaking down, crying about every single thing he's done, confessing it to the Fratellis, it's just so funny. And it gets even better when he's paired up with Sloth. I mean, it's easily one of the most bizarre relationships I think I've ever seen in film, but again, if you can't bond with someone over a Baby Ruth, then what's the point?
And now for the final crowning touch to this cake. Talk about it.
Robert Davi, Joe Pantoliano, and Anne Ramsey are all brilliant as the crime family, the Fratellis, who are just giving us constant, outrageous slapstick moments. And I feel like that is what the Goonies does best. You hear the phrase fun for all ages thrown around with many films, and I don't think it could be any more true for the Goonies. Kids will love the slapstick and the going on an adventure to find some treasure, as will the adults, but they'll obviously understand more of the innuendos, some of the deeper themes, and also revel in the nostalgia of being a kid and wanting to go off and find treasure with your friends. Spielberg and Columbus work wonders with this script and story. It's got that trademark Spielberg whimsy and magic. Both him and Columbus are harkening back to classic Saturday morning serials where there will be adventures, pirates, daring escapades. The practical sets were the true highlight for me. The design of the caverns littered with booby traps, all the way to that amazing pirate ship that our characters see at the finale. A little fun fact for you, the kids, when they turn around in the water and they see the pirate ship for the first time, that's actually the actors seeing it for the first time. They kept it all a surprise for them, which I thought was a really, really nice touch. The Goonies is infectiously entertaining and endlessly rewatchable. You go for the exciting adventure to find hidden treasure, but you stay for the electric dynamic between the characters. Sure, it can get a little chaotic, and sometimes that kind of hinders the movie ever so slightly, but for the most part, that chaos is a component to the fun. By the end, how can you not feel a surge of excitement as the Goonies stand there victorious with their treasure, saving their town as the pirate ship sails into the distance? Also, I'm flabbergasted that no one has thought of actually building that water slide. I would ride that in a heartbeat. So, after watching the Goonies for the first time in forever, I can safely say that it is worth it. Hopefully not giving it God tier won't put me in a world of hurt. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the film. What are your thoughts on the Goonies? And are there any other films on your immediate watch list that you are yet to get round to seeing? To give you guys a bit of an update, there is a video that I'm in the process of working on, but I need your help. I am looking to put together a countdown of the greatest comic book movie moments of all time. That's including Marvel, DC, and anything and everything in between. All I need you to do is either comment below in the comment section, message me on Twitter with some of your favourite moments, and then hopefully they may feature in the finished video. Also, as I'm sure some of you already know, we are on the road to 300 subscribers. We're getting there. It's a slow process, but hey ho, good things come to those who wait. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel and you have enjoyed what you have seen here, please click that subscribe button. It will mean the absolute world to me. And if you are already subscribed, but you know of someone who you think will really enjoy this channel, please share it with them and let them join in. And finally, I'm very excited to announce that next week's episode of For the First Time in Forever will be another special guest episode, I will be joined by Hector Rutter from Rutter Reviews. I'm very excited to be talking about these two films with him. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please make sure that you click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All the links to my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and my letterbox are all in the description below. And if you haven't liked the video, what are you still doing here?